everybody. Brett here in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. I'm going to do a little voiceover on this video because it was very windy, but you are looking at the location where Stringbean David Akeman and his wife Estelle were brutally murdered. So we're going to talk about that and just kind of show you the location and some pictures of that day. So here we go. Alright, so a little bit about Stringbean. So David Stringbean Akeman, born June 17th, 1915 in Annville, Kentucky, passed away November 10th, 1973 in Ridgetop, Tennessee at the age of 58. He came from a musical family, including his father James Akeman, who played the banjo at local dances. He got his first banjo when he was 12 years old in exchange for a pair of prize Bantam chickens. Stringbean began playing at local dances and gained a reputation as a musician. Eventually, he entered a talent contest judged by Asa Martin. He won and was invited to join Martin's band. During an early appearance, Martin forgot Akeman's name and introduced him as Stringbean because of his tall, thin build. Akeman used the nickname the rest of his career. Originally, Akeman was only a musician, but when another performer failed to show up one night, he was used as a singer and a comic. From then, Akeman did both comedy and music. He appeared on a radio station in Lexington, Kentucky, and played with several groups in the late 1930s. Stringbean also played semi-professional baseball. As a ball player, he met bluegrass pioneer Bill Monroe, who fielded with another semi-pro team. From 1943 to 1945, Akeman played banjo for Monroe's band, performing on recordings such as Goodbye Old Pal. He also teamed with Willie Egbert Westbrook as Stringbean's and Cousin Wilbur, a comedy duo who appeared on the same bill as Monroe's band. When he left Bill Monroe's band, he was replaced by Earl Scruggs, another banjo player with a very different style. In 1945, Stringbean married Estelle Stanfield. The same year, he formed a comedy duo with Willie Egbert, and they were invited to perform on the Grand Ole Opry. The following year, Akeman began working with Grandpa Jones, another old-time banjo player and comedian. Jones and Akeman worked together at the Grand Ole Opry and years later on the television series Hee Haw. They also became neighbors in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. Stringbean became a protege of Uncle Dave Macon, one of the biggest Opry stars during that time. And near the end of Dave Macon's life, he gave Stringbean one of his prized banjos. In the 1950s, Stringbean was now known as one of the biggest Grand Ole Opry stars. He adopted a stage costume that accentuated his height, a shirt with an exceptionally long waist and tail tucked into a pair of short blue jeans belted around his knees. The costume had many antecedents, including Slim Miller, a one-time stage comedian said to be Akeman's inspiration. Akeman did not record as a solo artist until the early 1960s when he was signed by the Starday label. Akeman remained a celebrated performer of the old-fashioned banjo playing style called the clawhammer. In addition to his skill as a clawhammer player, Akeman also frequently played two-finger banjo using the thumb and forefinger. Akeman is listed as one of the greatest old-time style banjo players, along with Uncle Dave Macon, Grandpa Jones, and Ralph Stanley. Akeman and his wife lived frugally in a small cabin near Ridgetop, Tennessee. Their only indulgences was a Cadillac and a color TV. Stringbean did not trust banks with his money, and word around town was that Akeman kept large amounts of cash on hand, though he was not wealthy by entertainment industry standards. And on Saturday night, November 10th, 1973, Stringbean and his wife returned home after performing at the Grand Ole Opry. Both were shot dead shortly after their arrival. The killers had waited for hours. Their corpses were discovered the following morning by the neighbor and great friend, Grandpa Jones. According to Billboard magazine, Akeman never learned to read or write. And the night that he was killed, him and his wife supposedly had a combined cash amount on them in the amount of $5,700. A police investigation resulted in the conviction of cousins John and Marvin Brown, both 23 years old. They had ransacked the cabin and killed Akeman when he arrived. His wife shrieked when she saw her husband murdered. She begged for her life but was shot dead as well. Both cousins were found guilty of murder, and Marvin Brown died of natural causes in 2003 at the Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary. He is buried in that prison cemetery. John Brown was incarcerated at the Louis M. DeBerry Special Needs Facility in Nashville. And in 2014, John Brown was granted parole and released after serving 41 years of a 198-year sentence. Stringbean and his wife Estelle are both buried at the Forest Lawn Memorial Gardens in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. And stay tuned, because we will go and visit that grave of both Stringbean and his wife. This is a spring that's pretty much right across from Stringbean's former home. Looks like it comes out of the bluff right up in there. Right up in there. Comes out. That's a lot. That's a big spring. And it runs right over here, goes under the road, and then runs into the creek that goes in front of Stringbean's home. Right here's where it comes out. Like I mentioned, he was known to be a fisherman, so he probably fished in this creek and spring. Pretty cool. This was probably his drinking water too. And here we are at the graves of David Akeman, also known as Stringbean, and his wife Estelle. Also, if you want to check more out about their graves and other famous people that are buried here at this cemetery, Forest Lawn in Goodlettsville, check out this video. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. Appreciate you watching. Please subscribe, like, share, comment. Do all those free things. And in the meantime, I'll see you real soon. Thank you, and good night.